In this video, we're going to take a look at the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra Classroom Quick Guide and see how that gets done. To do that, you're going to have to be able to create the room in your course, enter the room, understand the basic controls, share content with the students, and optionally record the class. So here we are in our Blackboard site. Presumably you have your room set up. So we're going to go look at a room into which we are going to put this. Here's our room. The first thing you do want to make sure is that your edit mode is indeed on. For some new rooms that it's off, you can't do anything with it. Let's pick the folder that you want to put this into. Let's say it's going to go into the Start Here folder. We're going to go to Tools, More Tools, and find the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra tool. Click on it. Optionally, we can change the name of the link. Let's call it the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra Classroom. And again, optionally, you can add a description if you like. Submit it. As works in all Blackboard folders, it goes to the bottom of the folder that you've selected. Let's make it easy for the students to find. In this Start folder, we'll just left click and drag it up to the top of this page. Optionally, you can also add it to the left-hand side menu for the course. Hover over the Add Menu plus sign, click on a course link, browse to the folder that you have it in, which is, of course, the Start folder. We just put it in. Click on the name of the file and make it available to students. It will fall to the bottom of the menu structure. And to make it easy for students, again, you might drag it up to the top. So now the first thing they see is the Blackboard Collaborate Ultra Classroom. Let's go ahead and go to that classroom. We can get there either by clicking in the Start folder or on our menu. We're now at the Blackboard Ultra Collaborate session screen. There are a variety of options here, but because we're keeping this simple, we're just going to enter into the classroom. Joining the room. And as you can see, the first screen you see, if you're the only one there, looks a little mysterious, but you're the only one in the room. Jump in and get started, upload your content, check your audio, etc. That's what the screen looks like if you're the only one there. A few things you must know on this page. When you enter the room, you have muted audio and muted video. And so the question becomes, how are you going to handle that? Do you want to be seen and heard by your students? If you want to be heard, of course, you need to share audio. You can tell that your audio is being shared after you click on it because the white volume bar in the microphone bounces up and down. And so if we want the video to show up, we would click on the Share Video. I'm going to stop the program that's recording this with one camera and start recording with the classroom camera. So now I'm going to continue, but going to use the camera that's available within the Collaborate Ultra room. So now I'm sharing video. When you click on Share Video, first you'll be able to see an image of yourself and decide if it's ready to go or not. I'm good to go, so I'm going to share video. So now in my classroom, I have my mic going. I can see sort of a monitor down here that this is the image that students would see. At the moment, I'm just going to wait for students to enter the room. So now we can see our students have begun to join us in the room, and they at this moment are seeing an image of me. They can either choose to follow the speaker mode, in which case they're seeing a big image of me, the last speaker to them, and on my side I'm seeing the last speaker to me, or they can go to group mode, in which case they'll see a variety of icons representing various people. In the icon mode, I'm up here where Mary Bradley is for me. Now we move on to check out the Collaborate panel and see what menus are there. The first thing of any import is the chat feature. You can chat with everyone in the classroom. You can chat with everybody in the room by entering the text and hitting enter. So everyone just got this message from me. Or you can choose to find a particular person in a large classroom. That would be important. It's worth noting that when someone leaves the room for whatever reason, voluntarily or not, and comes back in, the chat is all gone. And for students that come in late, that chat that occurred before they entered the room is not visible. So keep that in mind. The second item is the attendees icon. Here you can see who the people in the room are. You can tell whether or not their mic is on. Here we're going to have Sam Adams turn on his mic. And so his mic is on. We might ask him to turn it on. The third menu tab is sharing content, obviously fairly important if you're going to be doing something with a class. You might, for example, depending what you're teaching, want to share a whiteboard with the students. You have a variety of tools at the top, as you can see. You can, for example, share shapes in different colors. So today we'll be talking about the blue square, the red ellipse, and the orange squiggle. Students can be asked to share their information with you. They don't see, by the way, the cursor. Here's the pointer, and if you click on the pointer, they will see what you're pointing to. So students is, please let me know which one of these is the blue square by putting a check mark in it. Sam, could you do that? Sam selects the pencil, checks the blue square, and you indicate that that's very good. Good job. You can enter text in whatever color seems appropriate. The font cannot be changed, but you can use the selection tool to select any object you put on there. You can make it larger if you like, and you can choose to delete that by highlighting it and hitting delete, or erase everything. So depending on what you're teaching, the whiteboard might be useful. Clicking on the white square in a white circle stops sharing whatever piece of information you are sharing. My recommended way of sharing information with students is to use the next menu item, which is to share an application or a screen. And so here you would choose the screen that you want to share. In this case, we'll choose our entire screen. And if you want to share audio with the students so they can hear system audio, video that you're playing, music you're playing, etc., you would click Share Audio and click Share. The first thing that they're going to see, as you will, is this Hall of Mirrors feature. Not very attractive, but what happens. Then you can bring up anything you want into your screen, and you can share it out. In this case, at this point in time, the students are seeing the Using Collaborate Ultra PowerPoint slide. If you want, you can share this out in its standard format, which is just to share from the beginning, let's say. At this point, the students are seeing an entire screen filled with this information. Here's an animation, so they're seeing 1, 2, 3 as we go through. And when we get to our embedded video and click on play,
what is affiliate marketing?
They can
How does
see
it work?
and
In
hear
my
the video.
experience, affiliate marketing is we help partners who sell stuff.
Because we did click Share Audio. If you want to only share a smaller window, so for example, they can still see you react to things, you would click Slideshow, set up Slideshow, presented by an individual window, and click OK. And then when you go to share it, you have a window that you can resize. And the students will see the resized window. In this case, they're seeing the Blackboard slide as you would like them to, but they're also seeing you down here, perhaps articulating, gesturing, reacting to what's going on. So the distinction here is students can't write on this slide. They cannot collaborate on the slide with you. That may or may not be important for your course. We're going to stop sharing. And so we come back. Right now, the students are seeing my image because I'm the speaker. You also can share files that you previously uploaded into the room. In this case, we're going to share the same PowerPoint presentation that we just saw. Click on what you want to share. By the way, you can see it has 9 slides. When you're ready to share it, click Share Now and highlight the slide you want to begin with. So the students are seeing this first slide as they did before. If you want, they can interact with it. You can have them write on the slide if that's important for your particular way of doing things. However, you need to be forewarned. It does take a while for elements to be uploaded and processed. And in a case where you have animations on a PowerPoint slide, it turns out that this flattens them down. So we're no longer going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They're all there at once. And unfortunately, for something like an embedded video, which I had and you saw in my prior way of sharing, it's not there. And the system doesn't give you any warning that it's not there. So that's a little bit of an issue for me. Let's stop sharing the PowerPoint and take a look at a PDF file. that I uploaded previously. And the PDF file is seen in this full size with the students, from the students at the moment. As you move through it, it moves through it with them as well. But as you can see, this is pretty small. And so you might want to know how you can have them see a better version of this PDF file. And the answer is to have them use the Show View Controls icon, where they can zoom in to the PDF file and take a better look at what's going on. They, of course, can zoom out. They can make it best fit. They can make it actual size. The interesting thing is that you have to know, you zoom in, you see it larger. They do not. They still see the full-sized screen. On the other hand, you can have them zoom in, and you can tell them how much to zoom in. Okay, students, open your view controls and zoom in 8 times, and let's take a look at what we see. Important to know next is, while you might move back to best fit and on to the next slide, they move on to the next slide, but if they haven't zoomed out, they're still seeing the zoomed view. So you're talking about this information at the bottom, and they have they can't see it because they're only seeing the zoomed in view from the top. So you have to remind them, if they're zoomed in, to scroll down and see the information, in this case, about Canada. Once again, if you're going to collaborate, have them write on stuff, share stuff with you. That's great. If not, I would suggest you do not take this approach to sharing information with them. The fourth menu item is something that might be important for your students if they're having problems, or you if you're having problems. Click on Set Up Your Camera and Microphone, and you will see that you can choose from a variety of microphones that you might have available to you. You can select a mic and see if it works the way you expect it to. In this case, I'll pick one that I know isn't going to work. And when I speak, nothing is happening. It's not working. So I go down and I pick the correct microphone. I see it's good. Likewise with video. I could choose the inappropriate video. This is not what I want. It's not working as I should. I can double check it, select the right one, and when I see myself, then I know my video is working. Important for you to know, important for your students to know as well. When you return from setting up your camera and microphone, you do have to pay attention to make sure that you share your audio and share your video back out to the students. If these are muted, of course, your students aren't going to hear and see anything. Not a good way to teach a course. And finally, you might ask, how do I record a course for students to see later? Go up to the session menu in the upper left-hand side. Click on Start Recording. You get a note that the session is being recorded. And indeed, it is recording the student's view of what's going on as you share an application. As we saw before, this is being recorded, as is the animation, etc. And so that's the way that works. We are not going to get into the notion of breakout groups in this quick start video, but if you do create breakout groups for your students, you can enter one of the rooms. It's important to know when you enter a breakout room, because the main room is vacated, the recording stops. So if this was an important feature of your class, you would definitely want to remember to turn the recording back on when you brought the students out from the breakout rooms back into the main room. Okay, that concludes the main quick start guide. You learned how to create a room, make it accessible, enter the room. You learned the basic features of the room and how to share content with your students. There's more information, in-depth information in the comprehensive guide for you. Happy teaching. I'm going to stop recording now, and we'll sign off.